let's see whether we can't adjust the view somewhat. Then you can see the gorgeousness that is my new haircut. It was probably better before I messed with it. But here we go, folks. Now, I did just make a coffee. Let me bring that down. Well, the first one is up here. And way too hot because it's literally just been made. So I'm gonna take the lid off that. I've got coffee, I've got beer, and I've got the other stuff. The Spanish fruity drink, what's it called? Sangria. Friends dropped some supplies off this afternoon while cutting my hair. I had friends. You know I have friends. I know it's unbelievable. But as well as haters, I have friends. But if you've been watching this week, if you've been paying attention, if you were here when I did a stream, I didn't cook in the end, did I? And today I was going to go and get, I was going to go to Tweety's, but then I had friends land and surprise me and knock my schedule a little bit. I may go tomorrow or I may cook here. I'm not sure yet. But you don't look like a tramp now. Well, thank you, Keith. It's the haircut. Karen came out, was it October or November? And she was going to cut my hair. But we just had bad weather. She was only here for 4 or 5 days and we had bad weather every day. So she didn't get around to doing it. So I was a couple of months overgrown. The other day, I did the beard myself the other day. Karen tidied it up a little bit today. I took the rough off in the live stream. What day was that? Tuesday, Wednesday? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what day that was. That was Tina's birthday. So it was the 1st of April. So it's today the 3rd. That means it was 2 days ago. That means it was Wednesday. That was Wednesday. Is it? Yeah. It's the 3rd now, yeah? It is. For the next 2 hours, my time. So yeah, that was 2 days ago. That was Wednesday that we did the live stream. And I was gonna cook steak and chips. And I just sat down and I don't know, an hour and a half in, I just didn't feel hungry anymore, so I didn't do that. We also lost half the audience. I had a glitch with the tablet. This is my internet connection. That's talking with Wi-Fi. This is the hotspot. But we had a glitch, lost the connection. It took me about 10 minutes to get back online, and by the time I did, I didn't get the audience back, so I was talking to like 5 people. Here comes Farmer. Welcome everyone, everybody, everywhere, in every which way but loose. Right turn, Clyde. I think it was right turn, wasn't it? Clyde with a D. America don't have Clive as a name, but the orangutan, I believe he was, that would strike out. This is going to be too hot still. No, that's still way too hot. I'm going to have to open. Sorry, I'm waving my arms in front of the camera. I've got the traditional tripod under the lamp, but I'm going to have a drink of beer while we wait for the coffee to cool down. Made it far too late, folks. My alarm went off at 9:25 my time, so just over half an hour ago, and I just couldn't get going. I was in 2 minds whether to have coffee at all. Walk the dog, and then I thought, go on, then I'll make some coffee. But right now it's far too hot. I hope the lamp is the lamp is just getting in the glasses a little bit there, isn't it? And flaring. Did Karen clean you up and cut my hair? She did indeed. She arrived today. kind of at short notice. It wasn't really arranged until until she was about to set off. She told me to charge the clippers. See, I have the clippers here, and they're a UK plug, and I couldn't find my Spanish adapter. But my EcoFlows are both, obviously, they're both Spanish sockets, and I couldn't find. I think I only have one thing that requires the adapter. So you would think I would have just left the plug on. It's the what's it called? The slow cooker, the crock pot. You would have thought I would have just left the attachment on the plug from the crock pot, the slow cooker. But no, apparently I've taken it off and used it somewhere else. And I've got no idea what else I've got that's a UK plug. Best plug in the world, by the way. If you look anywhere on the internet, they'll tell you the UK plug, the UK 3-pin socket, plug and socket combined, obviously, are the best combination in the world. The engineering, the safety features, they're all fantastic. But that's a story for another day. That's not why you called. But I've got no idea where my fucking adapter is. I don't even know what else I've got other than the slow cooker. I thought it might have been my Christmas tree. But I dug that out. It took me 10 minutes to dig that out from the far right corner. And when I dug it out, it's a Spanish plug. I've got no idea what I've got in here that is a UK socket that might have made me... There's the slow cooker crock pot, and there's one of my hair trimmers. So I've got a hair trimmer and a beard trimmer, basically. And obviously Karen wanted me to charge the hair cutter, the hair clippers. Neither the crock pot nor the hair clippers have got the adapter. And I thought maybe it's on the floor somewhere in the vicinity of in the corner where the EcoFlows live. No, it's a fucking mystery. No idea, folks. That makes no idea. I got no clue. Let me scroll. I'm just do you know what I haven't done? You see this live chat, folks? Live chat, all messages are visible. I'm always the last person to do it. Let me scroll back and just make sure I've not missed anybody. There was me at the beginning with my begging bowl out. Here is the PayPal donate link. I think that is there. I haven't butchered the link for once. That's good. I said to say hi. Then I said I might be late because I was making coffee. Keith, Sign of Nature, said, you don't look like a tramp now. Welcome everyone, everybody, everywhere. That was Farmer Fabrizio arriving on the scene. Have you got shirt and tie? Asked Keith. I've got shirts. I don't believe I've got a tie. And the shirts are like lumberjack shirts or something. I don't have a pretty shirt. Possibly polo shirt, so with a collar, but not a proper shirt. Make me look too much like a criminal anyway. And someone saw me in a shirt and tie, their first assumption would be that being caught. So probably best not to do that anyway. Karen cleaned you up and cut. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she's indeed an angel. I don't think she's here right now. I haven't seen her. Looks great. Like the lamb after the lamb gets a shearing. Okay. Yeah. Sean. You could change my name to Sean. That makes perfect sense. You're not in the UK. Yeah, I've got a couple of devices that have been given to me by people from the UK, but I think it is only the crock pot. The hair trimmers were from Argos, which is a UK... I don't think you can explain Argos to anybody abroad. Argos is like... It's like Amazon. You read a catalogue and then you walk in a shop and order it and they bring it out to you. So there's not much in the way of a shop floor with display. There are a few display items, but not many. But mainly, you used to read a catalogue and then you would get the order number you know, the item number and just walk in the shop and order it, and they'd bring it out to you from a big warehouse out back. Difficult to explain. There used to be Argos, and there was another one called Index. Index is long since gone, but I think Argos still exists. I think it was swallowed by Sainsbury's not long ago, a big supermarket, grocery store if you must. But yeah. Okay, Farmer says pound, smash, poke, prod, press, push, punch, slap, chop, bump, tap, flick, kick, click, lick, rub, slam the like button and consider subscribing. And then it jumped on me. I don't think it jumped far. Oh, now it's jumped backwards quite a distance, which is great. I saw Smithy arrive. Evening, Mike, Tina, and everyone else. We have not as yet introduced the Tina girl. Where are you, babe? Are you? Okay. That's almost cute. Let me see whether I can. You won't be able to see her until I turn the light on. And even then, hey, Tina. Hey, babe. Hey, here you go. I thought you were going to stay laying next to me to say hello to the peoples. Oh, we got some new cushions down the side of the bed here. I've said in the past that Tina likes to lay alongside the bed, not on the bed. She will find her way during the night. She'll find her way off the bed. But we've got these, I think they're from, I'm not sure if they're off like a garden furniture. They're very similar to some cushions I used to have. Let me switch back to me. Once upon a time, I had some rattan garden furniture. In the before times, when I actually had when I had money and an apartment and normal life, I had the plastic rattan effect woven kind of plastic garden furniture. Two big sturdy armchair things that sat outside, and the black plastic, and a coffee table with a big glass thing over the top. And I had all the cushions and everything that went with it. The two main ones, the one you sat on and the one at the back. But then it had these little, similar to these for the arms for the side. So now I've got those down the side of the bed in case Tina decides to slide off the side of the bed. Just recently she's been waking me up in the night because she's not as mobile as she used to be. She's trying to pull herself up from in this little gutter and back onto the bed. Well, now she's kind of level, so if she does lay on the cushion, she has a better chance. Basically, I'm sick of being woken up every half an hour with Tina struggling to move around or whatever. Sometimes even a doggy daddy needs a bloody sleep. I don't get much. I'm certainly not getting my evening naps anymore now that the clocks have changed and it's light on an evening. I've had zero sleep tonight. Did not get my nap at all. I was just telling myself, you see, you won't be able to tell from there, but so I've got two mattresses on top of each other, and one of them slid down about 2 foot, so half a meter, let's say, down that way, and it's sticking out of the doorway of the bedroom. What I was thinking was, if I clear some of the detritus away, the extra pillows and dog treats and things that are stored at the top of the bed here, if I move those out the way and push the top mattress back 50 centimeters this way, on an evening I'll be able to attempt to close the door, the bedroom door, and actually have some darkness help me have a nap on an evening when it's not real. I'm not really tired, folks. This only happens when I talk about being tired. I start yawning. It's not real. Honest, Gov. But no, tomorrow I'm going to move some of this detritus out of the way. There's 3 separate lots of doggy treats. And I managed to say that word without attracting her attention, which is unusual. 3 lots of those, but there's a bag here of like electronics. There's an external hard drive and cable, and a bunch of pen drives, thumb drives, whatever you want to call them. Connectors. I got the OTG adapter, on the go adapter. There's cordial, aka squash, concentrated fruit juice for watering down and drinking. There's an empty chocolate tub that I'm keeping for some reason that I don't know. Bunch of other stuff. Waterproof. One of my picnic blankets when the roof was leaking. You see, now we've got. I haven't shown you that. I don't think I showed it the other day, did I? I was sat outside. Would have been an ideal time to show you the 2 new tarps that are on the top of the roof. So I am waterproof again now, and I'm fully expecting to get through this summer in the old tent and not having to use the new one just yet. So that's something we could have covered outside the other day, but I don't think we did. But anyway, I've got my electric blanket from winter. The electric blanket's over here. Didn't use it. Didn't need it once. A couple of times I thought I might have. We did get down to 3 or 4 degrees a few times, Celsius, or centigrade if you prefer. I kind of prefer centigrade because the clue's in the name. But anyway, I've never used it. So I've got things here that can be moved back out and over there. The mattress can be moved up and in, and maybe then I can close the door and actually have a nap on an evening. It's worth trying. I'm going to try it. Your biggest weapon against them kids is to walk up in your tie and shirt. Oh, we had an incident this evening. I don't know where to begin, folks. I heard kids, but I heard adult voices with them. So I presumed, oh, it's a family. Mum and Dad will make sure nothing silly happens. Thud. Next to the tent, actually in the bushes, but only just. So I get outside, and there's somewhere between 10 and 15 fucking people walking off down the road. But obviously one of them's thrown a fucking rock at or towards the tent. So I'm fucking not happy. I've gone out. I'm not shouting or anything, but I've gone and stood and I'm scowling. I have a good fucking scowl. When I scowl, I look like I mean fucking business. And I'm stood. They realise that I've come out, and they're a bit uncertain. They wonder what the fuck's going on. Anyway, they carry on and they go right to the end of this road, and it's kind of a dead end. It goes down and into a private driveway. I take the dog and I go the other way, and we're at the top, and as I turn around, the fuckers are coming back. I just stand in the middle of the fucking road, in the middle of the track. I'm big, I'm wide. I'm carrying back half of the dog, but I'm wide and I'm scowling, and and the fuckers they take a 90-degree turn and go along the cliff tops the other way. I'm not having that. I heard kids, but I heard adult voices, so I thought we'd be okay, things would be sensible. And the next thing you know, there's a fucking thud right next to my tent. Get fucked. People, the fuck is wrong with you? If you're in a group and your kid does something wrong, then at least fucking apologise on their behalf and tell them off. So that kind of coloured my day. I had my nice surprise with my haircut. It knocked my timetable slightly. I was going to go to Tweety's for fish and chips. I guess I owe you guys I've always said that I honour stipulations when people donate. Josie and Peter donated way back last October or November and said, here, here's €20, go get fish and chips. And I haven't been yet. So I was gonna go, and then Karen said that get the clippers out, I'm coming to cut your hair. And that just kind of knocked my schedule for the day a bit. I may go tomorrow. Oh, although, okay, another development. You know, my solar panel smashed. I don't know, how long ago was it now? A month and a. I'm gonna guess it's 6 or 7 weeks ago. In a big wind, my solar panel got blown over. It really is substantial. It must weigh about 3 kilograms. It got blown over anyway, and it landed face down on some rocks and it got shattered. I now get 40 or so watts out of it, sometimes 50, but at a push. I finally put the order in earlier this week for 2 new panels, flexible ones, lightweight, flexible, 100 watts each. So I get 2 panels for the same price as I got the one last time around. It's been 2 years, prices move, and these are lightweight ones, so it's a bit different. I also needed an extra cable because I've got 2 EcoFlows now. I should probably... I always talk about the EcoFlow and I don't often explain it. Let me explain it for anyone who's new and doesn't know. Let me do this. We'll do that way. And I think you could probably benefit from the light being on. Okay. Yeah. Now it is 2 years old, so you can see it's a little bit rusty here. This is a 12 volt socket. That's your cigarette lighter socket that you would have on a car. 12 volt DC output. This is a proper plug socket. 220 volts. I'm not sure how many amps it goes to. But it does it's a proper full-on plug socket. I think it goes up to 600 watts in total. So that's going to be 30 amps, 25 amps maybe. Is that right? 10 would be 220. No, it wouldn't. It is 220. No, I'm totally wrong there, aren't I? It's about 3 amps. 220 volts at 3 amps would be 600, wouldn't it? That kind of... Anyway, there's your ballparks. It does 300 watts ordinarily, but there is a thing called X boost where it will go twice as high. It does something funny playing with voltages and amps. I think it drops the voltage and kicks out extra amps so as to not melt wires or something. Don't know, beyond me. 2 USB-A sockets there and there, and a USB-C, and a little screen to tell you what's going on, how many watts are coming in, how many are going out, percentage, and how long it will work at the current rate of output. Or if you've got power going in, it tells you how long until it's full. But this is my first EcoFlow. I now have a second one I bought from a friend a couple of weeks ago. So that's my EcoFlow that I always talk about. My solar panel, as I said, is currently working at about half power, and so I've bought 2 new ones. And I have 1 cable from the one I've got, so I need 1 new cable for the extra panel, for the second panel. And those have all arrived. Those are all with my friend Karen, who will be dropping them off hopefully at some point this weekend. I'm not dictating when. I don't like to be a nuisance and determine or dictate when other people do things. But there was an extra thing that we bought for Joby, my friend Joby, a foldable solar panel, small, because he likes to stay mobile on his bike. That's arrived as well, and they're going to be delivering that to him tomorrow morning. So a big thank you to Karen and family for the help. Otherwise, I'd be placing orders, folks, and it'd be 50-50 whether it arrived or whether it got sent back. Spanish delivery in England, you'd get 3 attempts at a delivery. If they tried to deliver and you're out, you know, they knock on the door, ring the doorbell, whatever. But if you're not there, they take it away and leave a card and tell you, don't worry, we'll come back tomorrow. And after that, you can ring and arrange or an alternate drop-off location or whatever. Spain, one and done. They make one attempt and then it goes back. Pitiful, really. Americans think that the UK don't really get customer service. You compare the UK to Spain, fuck. Spain is miserable. The number of times I've gone to the supermarket and the girl, they can ring your stuff through and she'll tell you how much, and then she'll put her hand in and she'll take your money and then she'll just put your change down on the fucking conveyor or on the metal in front, and she can do what, and she won't look at you. They can literally ring up your shopping, tell you how much, take your money, give you your change, well, not even give you your change, but put your change down on the counter and do the whole thing without fucking looking at you. Some of them are the most ignorant fucking bitches ever. And it's not just the girls. I use the word bitches reservedly is not the right word, is it? What word did I mean? I don't know, and I probably shouldn't be calling them bitches because that's sexist and all of those things. You know me, I say the words. Anyway, the women do tend to be more ignorant, to be fair. The guys are not as good at the job. They do tend to be friendlier, though, in general. There was Zami. Okay, so there was Sign of Nature. Your biggest shirt and tie was the... there was Zami, Evening Mike, Farmow saying hello to Zami. Zami is in, I think it's Fulham. Yeah? We're in London. I think it's Fulham. I know it's close to Chelsea, but not quite. It might be Putney. Was it Fulham or Putney? Oh, I don't know. Andy's Computer Tube, Evening Tramp Crew, liked and subscribed. Live check. Oh yeah, always check that you're live, folks. Bottom left corner, you're looking for the word live and a red dot. If you don't do that, you might be following along, and we might be an hour ahead of you. Oh, not yet. Am I only 28 minutes in? Or have I had a disconnect? No, I'm only 28 minutes in. Fuck. Really? Shit, it's dragging already, isn't it? We're only, so you're not going to be an hour behind. Not yet, anyway. But it's possible. Sometimes with YouTube, you join a live stream and it starts at the beginning for you and you're way behind. You make a comment based on something I said in the first 5 minutes and I'm going to be like fucking lost. Yeah. Lurking and doing chores. You were decorating last week. What is it this week? I think that was you, wasn't it? You were painting, if I remember correctly. Twerk artist. Why does your face look rectangular than before? More rectangular than before. Twerk artist. That's an interesting name. I have had a trim. I have had a haircut, and on a live stream on Wednesday, I took the ruff off. I took it down to the bone at the sides, and I left. I don't know whether this is a goatee or a Van Gogh. I keep meaning to look that up. Let's do that. We always like to know what we're on about. Is a goatee just the beard and a Van Gogh has the tash? I'm not. Let's have a look. Van Gogh might not even be the right. Have I even got the right Dutchman? Van Gogh beard. No, that's not where I was going. Who am I going with? I've got the wrong beard entirely. I don't even remember the two options I just had. I had Van Gogh and Goatee. Goatee versus Goatee beard versus. It is Van Dyke. Van Dyke. No, Van Dyke, not Van Gogh. Dickhead. There's a picture. Let's get the pictures. That's quicker. Mutton chops, handlebar with chin puff. That's okay. Van Dyke, not Van Gogh. Van Dyke. I knew I'd got it wrong. Van Dyke is the tash and beard. Goatee's just the beard, no tash, which looks wrong. And then you've got the old Dutch, which also looks Muslim. Van Dyke. Why did I say Van Gogh? Sometimes I'm a pillock. Most of the time, let's face it. But that's, you know. Tina, where are you? Why are you across the bed? You're everywhere. You're in the way. You can't, if I'm laying down the bed this way, you can't lay across it that way. That's just not going to work. Dog. Why does your face look more rectangular than before? Yeah. Did you shave? I had a trim. Hannah, hello. Will fuel prices affect your on-site supporters visits? I think fuel prices, so some of my friends have an RV and other friends have a van and come down from Valencia and so there are implications and knock-on effects. Yeah. I'm not even sure whether these guys are diesel or petrol. Diesel seems to be the one that's really going through the fucking roof, price-wise. I was watching a guy, Steve, oh God, what's his channel? It used to be Everyday Prepper, and he has a financial one. He's in the process of retiring, and trying to do investing and selling his property to live on I think it's a barge, but with a caravan and a boat. So living kind of off grid. And he's the guy that did the sleep out, the Great Tommy Challenge, the Great Tommy Sleep Out Challenge, whatever that was called, that I donated to a couple of weeks ago, to raise funds for UK veterans, British veterans. The homeless veterans. So yeah, there you go. A homeless guy giving money. I didn't do a lot, but I gave what I felt I could. Because there are always people worse off than me. I'm homeless, yes. I'm in a field, but it's warm. I'm in Spain. Pity the poor guys that are homeless in the fucking UK, in the wet and the cold. I've got no idea. I would not know. I'd be dead. I would not know how to survive homeless in the UK. I don't know how to survive homeless in fucking Spain. I dropped lucky. I picked a field. It turned out that the field is private. And after a couple of years of trying to convince the cops, they finally believed me and now leave me alone. If I had to uproot and start over, I'd be out in the open. I'd be visible. I'd get all the attention and all the trouble that goes with that. But to be homeless in the UK in winter and even in spring, which we're now just into, I would not survive. I'd be dead. I make no bones about that. I would have had to self-delete, I think you're allowed to say on YouTube. That's probably where I would have ended up. I had my low points here where I was considering it a couple of years back. But in the UK, I almost certainly would have. Yeah, no, I gave some of your, if you have donated, I did give some of your money away. It's a small proportion of what I had in the in PayPal at the time, a token amount really, but I felt strongly enough about the cause to donate some of your money. I hope nobody minds. But that was Steve. Steve did the overnight thing, and I donated, and he actually gave me a shout out in his videos about it. But that wasn't necessary. But yeah, where was I? I was watching Steve, his caravan. Why was I talking about that? I was talking about before that. I was talking about Van Dyke versus Van Gogh, wasn't it? Van Dyke moustache and beard. I've got a little fly hovering around the light. I don't know, folks. I don't know why I got there. I don't know how I got there. We'll move on. Karen took 10 years off your DM, says Marie. Everybody says that every time. Yeah. I scrub up well. Is don't troll that scowl. I used to have very, very hooded eyebrows. Back when my eyebrows weren't bright white. I could stare and scowl at people like, yeah. When I first started working at Reebok, this last turned to Jan, my ex, I think she was girlfriend at the time, but seemed to be wife. She says, "My God, that guy looks evil," without knowing that we were together. Like, do you mind? That's my fella. Yeah. Your cuttings make perfect plant food. The hair, it's lying all over the floor out there. It is. UK Richie, we should talk, my friend. You need to send me an email. Don't worry, I'm not blaming you, but somebody is using your name. Somebody is impersonating you online with malicious intent. If you can drop me an email, mate. So it's just Delta Mike Torrevieja at gmail.com. And I can point in the direction if you want to do anything about it. They're kind of masquerading as you with very... Yeah. I have my first hater account. Somebody started a YouTube channel specifically to try and dox me and say nasty things about me. When I didn't do... So Sunday night, let me explain about Sunday night. I didn't do a live stream Sunday. As I've said all along, folks, these things are intended to be random. The TrampCast Hangouts are meant to be random. We have kind of fallen into a pattern of Friday night and Sunday night, with occasional random other ones whenever I feel like it. Last Sunday, the clocks had just changed. I had this thing I was talking about earlier where I couldn't get my nap going in the afternoon or evening. And frankly, I had nothing to talk about. I didn't have anything from having talked to you all on the Friday to the Sunday. There was nothing extra to say. I'd struggled for topics on the Friday, to be honest. I was padding it just to get to however long we went on the Friday. But when I didn't do the Sunday, somebody was out there broadcasting that I'd been arrested and that I was awaiting deportation. And quite vitriolic, a little bit nasty, yeah. If that person, I don't think they're in Spain, but if they are and they want to come on down to the field, we can dance. I don't back away from a fight with anybody. You want to dance the dance? I'm here. Other than that, you're a pussy. But that's not why you called. But yeah, UK Richie, if you're not aware of the phenomena, there is somebody kind of impersonating your name. And drop me a line and I'll point in a direction. Maybe you can complain to YouTube and get them taken down, or I don't know. Probably not, but you might want to just be aware of it. Yeah, nasty people. But I have my first hater. Here's Jack Attacked fact-checking me a fact-check away. Van Dyke rather than Van Gogh, which is where I went before. Van Dyke beard features a floating disconnected moustache and a goatee chin beard. Usually with a soul patch. Hold on. It jumped. Goatee, that's the... Okay. Leaving the cheeks and jawline clean shaven, it often requires a pointed chin shape. Goatee is the classic full, typically refers to hair on the chin only. A full goatee or circle beard connects the moustache to the chin beard. Hold on. A full goatee, I've never heard that term before, or circle beard connects the moustache to the chin beard in a circle around the mouth, which is probably nearer to mine then. Although I didn't actually get clean shaven because my Mach 3 is hidden away somewhere under all this junk here. I've never actually shaved it, but I did take it kind of as close as my clippers would go. Jack Attack, is just flying by. It's flying visit. Farmer, don't even think on a second. Better you're here with us here, or even just in Spain. Yeah, it's okay, mate. I had my worst moment was when I was it was when I had the 6 broom handles and just a tarp over the top, and the roof split and all the water came in, and I was kind of pinned to the bed. We according to the weather forecast, we had 3 days of thunder and lightning ahead of us, and my roof had just split wide open. And I thought, that's it, I'm done, I'm toast, I've had enough. But then a wonderful couple from up the road, Kath and Nige, arrived and brought me a new tarp. This is the one, folks, where I'm so ashamed. I thought to myself, oh, how lucky they had a tarp laying around. I didn't realise they'd been up to the fucking Chino Bazaar and just bought it there and then. Yeah. Haven't seen them in a couple of years. I don't know what the score is. They fell out with me once they discovered I had thousands of pounds in the bank. I guess I didn't explain it very well. I think they wondered, why are we helping this guy? And they were bringing me food every second, or they were bringing me like a cooked meal every second or third Sunday. One of the Sundays was, roughly speaking, it was around Easter. So that's maybe 3 years. Is that 3 years ago now? Is that 2 or 3? I think that's 3. I get lost on the timelines here, folks. But I think I didn't explain very well that I've got this money in the bank, but I haven't got access to it. So I was explaining to Nige that I've got thousands in the bank. And then I think he's thinking to, why are we bringing you fucking food? Why are we cooking for you and pandering to you? Why did we buy you a tarp if you've got thousands? I haven't got access to it, so I might as well not have it. Yeah, all a bit awkward, I guess. So I presume a misunderstanding, and I haven't seen. They live well. Their house is right at the top of the road there. I don't know if they've sold it and moved. Maybe they've gone back to the UK. I haven't seen them in ages. I could go knock at the door or ring the doorbell, I guess, one day. I don't know. I guess I'm not welcome. I guess I'm not wanted. So maybe I won't. I won't impose myself. Farmer Jack. Yeah, okay. Hello, Jack, says Farmer. And Jack Attack says hello back. Start a new campaign. Be my new neighbour. No overstay complications guaranteed. UK Rich's email. I'll get back to you after this, mate. Oh, failed to send. I'll try again with spelling. Okay. It's exactly as spelled in the at here, but obviously without the at the beginning. Delta Mike Torrevieja @gmail.com. The Vieja will be what's holding you up. Here's Keith. Jus in rem, not a quasim persona, England, just solely Angliae, and crewman creditor, and where the kings as per hierarchy, and then some numbers. PD, I think, stands for public document. AD, I've no idea about. But it's all that. I'm a real person, not a legal person, which I think is the what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say jinx, but that's not right. Yeah. It's that how a corporation, a public company, a limited company is incorporated, and so is legally a person. So there are legal persons, legal entities that are people, and then there are actual real people, and I think that's where Keith goes with his jus in rem, not a quasim persona. I was going to say it's all Greek to me, but I think it's Latin. But you get the idea. It's beyond me. Ah, I can put the lid back on. Whoa! Okay, that didn't go right. Sorry, folks. I knocked my wine glass over. I might use that later. Like I've got what's the fruity stuff called in Spain? Sangria. I've got sangria in the fridge. I might take a drop of that on board later. Oh, line the hole up with your mouth. I better just drink it now. I've left the lid off too long. Coffee's gone cold. All right, folks. I think I've caught up with you with chat. As far as I know, I'm all caught up. Okay, yeah, I have UK Richie. I've got your email. Hi, I will reply as soon as I can. It's nothing. I know it's not you. Don't panic. I know that you're not the. I know that the pleb behind it is just using your name as a like a stooge thing. There's a slight deliberate misspelling in your handle. Well, in his version of your handle, to try and cause confusion and grief, but quite humorous. I mean, I laughed at the videos I did watch. I haven't watched many. I would ask that anyone who just find him doesn't subscribe and give him. He's got 3 subscribers in 4 fucking months. It's someone who was here before, and I'm not going to say pester, but after I did a live stream, the next day I would get about 8, 9, 10 fact-checky kind of emails and things. Not emails, but comments. So not chat, but actual comments the day after. I banned him in the end, and he came back with a false name. I banned him again. He changed his name to a woman. He pretended to be a girlie for a while. I can't remember, Marigold or some such shit. It's that person. I just tell from the tone. Oh yeah, and when I went to his channel and looked at the info, I could see that he was banned on my channel. I've banned him. Phantom Zone. Yeah, you know. Quite vitriolic though. Some of the posts are quite nasty. But the one last weekend telling everyone, so he's trying to dox me. He's got my real name out. Anyone who wants to find my real name, it's really easy. I mean, it really is easy. For a start, I doxed myself about 8 times in TrampCast 001. So I'll give you my first name. You know my initials because DM Delta Mike. And if you can find me on Facebook, you can find family members of mine. You then go to their account and you'll find the real me, not the Delta Mike me, but you'll find my other account with you know. So it's nice. I was never particularly well hidden, but he thinks he's being clever by shouting my name from the rooftops in his little fucking videos. Yeah, you know. There are dicks out there all over the world, aren't there? Now, I think that he's in a caravan in the UK. It's difficult to tell from the videos. In Spain, when you get a cheap apartment, if you buy an apartment or if you're renting a cheap apartment, they're equipped with, so the muebles, the furniture shops will do these packs, cheap packs and you tell them how many bedrooms you've got and whether you want single beds or double beds or whatever, and you just get these flat packs. This horrible cheap teak looking wood, it's a flimsy, horrible, shitty, it's not even a nice colour wood. I can't quite tell from the videos whether it is in a crappy apartment out here or if it's a caravan back home. You know. But there's a region, there's an accent. But if he is in Spain and he wants to come down and dance the dance, I'm happy. I've said this many times to quite a few people now, and so far undefeated. Including the guy who came down and we had the 2-hour stand-up knockdown fist fight. I won every fucking round. He only landed one punch and one kick in the entire 2 hours. I'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. Except for little blokes in Singapore, because they don't box properly, they kick too much. That's another story. I told the tale the other day. I think I've mentioned it before, but we'll move on from all that. Okay, folks, what are we going to talk about now? What kind of week have you all had? How's the weather been in Blighty, for those of you that are in the UK? My standings in law are not in legal, and the latter is their rules, not mine, says Keith. You have no rights unless you stand on them or stand up for them, I guess. You could well be right. I'm just not the biggest believer in this whole sovereign citizen, free man of the land kind of. I keep seeing case after. When you get the person who's pulled over and they get asked for the driving license and they say, I'm not driving, I'm travelling. Seems silly to me. You sat behind the wheel of a fucking car pressing the pedals and steering the wheel. If that's not driving, what is? Oh, driving's a commercial thing and I'm not doing it commercially, therefore it's not driving, I'm just travelling. I think the distinction goes back to sheep drovers. They drive sheep over bridges or whatever, but only if they've been given the freedom of the city or whatever it is. You can drive your sheep over London Bridge, was it London Bridge or Tower Bridge, if you've got the freedom of the city, if you've been given the key. Something like that, and a lot of it just seems silly to me, but what do I know? I'm just an arsehole in a field in Spain. Okay, folks, let's turn it over to you. Let's come on, talk to a tramp. That's why you're here. How's the weather? Farmer's still here, are you? Farmer's here, I think. How's the weather over in Canada, whichever part you're in? I've got Ontario in my head, but I could well be totally wrong. I think most of the rest of you are UK, aren't you? Most of you. UK, Richie. UK, maybe Ireland, one or two of you, maybe. Scotland for Jack Attack, although he says he's not here. He's lurking in the background. Just scrolling back, seeing who else. Twerk artist. Yeah, she's interesting. Twerk artist arrived the same time as the bloke with the girl's name that time. I'm waiting for Storm Dave to arrive in Cumbria tomorrow. I didn't know that we had a Storm Dave on the way. I didn't know that they went as basic as names like Dave. Soul mining. Hello, hello. Oh gosh, let me try. It's been a while. Soul mining. If I say Steve, and then you'll tell me how wrong I am. Hold on. I do have a list for these eventualities. I shouldn't be guessing when I can actually look shit up. Rather than embarrassing myself and getting it wrong, come out of that. Come out of that folder and down to here. And you'll probably correct me before I get anywhere near. People handlers, okay. Right, soul mining is Steve in Warrington. There you go. Look at that. It's almost like I've got a fucking memory. David Schofield. Hello, hello. My old school. Well, you're not my school teacher, but you've got the same name. Not been on for a while. How's Tina? Tina's fantastic. She just had a birthday the other day. 10th birthday. April the 1st, Wednesday, as some of us know it. Let me see whether I can. I'll be disturbing her, but she won't mind. Hey, babe. Oh, she's just twitching. She's asleep down there, I think. I'll have to unplug the phone to get around there properly. Hey, babe. Hello, you. Hello, you. You're snuggling with your new pillows. Hey, babe. You're okay. You don't have to wake up. You just stay there. Yeah. What's this? You got something on your snout. What is it? Oh, it's a bit of fluff off the cushion. Okay. Here she is, folks. That's my little snuggle monster. She likes to lay perpendicular to the bed. So if I'm laying up and down the bed, as I am, she's trying to lay across it, just for maximum annoyance. Let me plug this back in, otherwise I'll forget and we'll run out of power. Oh no, we're on 100, so we're okay. Tablet is on 90, so that's okay. EcoFlow's on 83, that's okay. The other one's not quite on 100. I turned it on the other day, the other EcoFlow. Now that I've got two. But from tomorrow, I'm going to have more power than I know what to do with. So at the minute, folks, in the morning, I'm putting the... Oops. I hook up the EcoFlow to the solar panel at 8:30 now. Now that the times have changed, would have been 7:30 last week, but now it's 8:30. And I generally have, there's a shadow from the trees just on one corner of the panel, and I can never judge on a night time when I'm putting it there. I can't judge where the shadow will be. So I go out just before 8:30 and just move this panel just 6 inches this way or that way. And we start getting 20, 25, maybe 30 watts of power coming in from the current broken panel. And we wait until I've got 90, maybe 95% charge in the EcoFlow, and then I'll turn the fridge on, the fridge freezer. And we'll leave that on most of the day. Occasionally I have to turn it off because it uses that little bit more power than I currently get from the panel. So over time we end up down around 90, 85, maybe 80% charge on the EcoFlow. So I turn the freezer off so that the EcoFlow can catch back up with itself and get close to full charge. But any day now, either tomorrow or the day after, when Karen brings me my new solar panel that's just arrived from Amazon, panels, plural, not only will I not be battling away with just 40 watts coming in, I'll have close to 100 on each of 2 panels to each of 2 EcoFlows. Any day now I'll have to start using the fan to keep the air moving in here, to keep it cool. But even that, the fan's only 40 watts, 30, sometimes 30, depending which setting you use. I might have enough power to put the fucking telly on. Put the TV on, maybe. Or save it up and use the slow cooker to make... I've been saying for ages I don't have an oven. But the slow cooker is basically a self-contained oven. You make jacket potatoes and things in it. I have just been given an air fryer. Never used one before. Don't think I've got enough power for that. It needs 1200, 1500 watts to work properly. I can get as high as 600 if I use X Boost on one of the EcoFlows. I'm not sure whether an air fryer... I know that things like kettles, things that heating elements will work with a lower current, lower voltage, whatever. They will work. And so if you were boiling water, it'll just take longer. But will an air fryer just take longer, or will it just not be enough to evaporate the fat and make it, or oil, and make it do its thing? Not sure what the score is there, but I'll definitely be able to start using my slow cooker to make like baked potatoes, as Americans would call them. Jacket potatoes, we call them in Britain. I'll be able to do stuff like that. Obviously soups and stews and all of that is possible. I mean, I've got a proper pan and a proper cooking thing for most of those things. But some things baking wise, like a loaf of bread, I could make in the slow cooker. It is like an oven. I will better make some things that currently I can't. Maybe even be able to make a fucking Yorkshire pudding work. Maybe. So far, I haven't had success with Yorkshire puddings, and my last attempt at a pizza didn't go too well either. It did. It was tasted lovely, but it just fell apart when you picked it up. It just broke into a million pieces. Didn't have the bread mix right, but I can try again. Yeah, I finally. Well, I mean, you get rich with your money, innit? Just buying the solar. How did we go with the solar panels? My current solar panel, the big glass and aluminium frame, big heavy solar panel, was €85 from Leroy Merlin 2 years ago. For 85 now, I might have paid slightly more, it might be 90. I get 2 panels. I get twice the power. Now, I haven't got them, I haven't tested them. The theoretical maximum is 100 watts each. They're lightweight, so I'm going to have to do something to anchor them or tie them down or fasten them in some way. I do have some planks of wood and bricks and things I can tie them to. But I imagine that in a strong wind they could blow away. Protect your camp from aerial threats with netting. Aerial threats, like stones, is that what you mean? Or birds, I'm not sure. We frequently have military helicopters and planes and stuff coming over. People with drones as well. I get drones coming over and spying on me every now and again. Nothing serious, you know what I mean? It's still thinking about buying a catapult. Slingshot, whatever you want to call it. Reasons, folks, reasons. If World War III happens, if we're in the end times, as some people suggest, a catapult might be useful for catching, for birds and things, for food. Although there are other ways to catch pigeons and stuff, aren't there? You just put a box propped up with a bit of string and pull a thing and have it catch it. There are rabbits around here. It's either rabbits or hares somewhere around here. There are other small rodents or mammals. Technically, rabbits are not rodents. Somebody told me a while back. I don't remember who. No. Yeah, rabbits. They're not rodents. Always thought they were. All my life, I thought they were. But they're not. Who knew? They have their own separate category. But anyway, I digress. Let's just, you know how it is. We have to look this up. Let's ask Google. Are rabbits rodents? And they're not. What are they? Are rabbits? I don't even spell rodents properly. No, rabbits are not rodents. They're classified as lagomorphs. Lagomorpha. Although historically grouped with rodents due to superficial similarities. Well, the similarities are the ever-growing front teeth and the need to bite, to chew wood to keep the teeth down. That was my understanding of, the front incisors. Key differences between rabbits, lagomorphs, and rodents. Teeth. Rabbits have 6 front incisors, 4 on top, 2 on the bottom, while rodents only have 4, 2 top, 2 bottom. Rabbits are hindgut fermenters that practice secotrophy, re-eating. Don't eating their droppings. No, they eat their own droppings to maximize nutrient absorption. Rodents belong to the order Rodentia, mice, rats, squirrels, while rabbits belong to Leporidae. Leporidae, alongside Picus, make up the Lagomorpha order. Male rodents have a baculum. Oh, they got a bone in their dick. Way. Male rodents have a bone in their penis, while rabbits don't. Yeah, I'm not squeezing its dick to tell whether it's got a bone or not. Has it got a bone in its boner? That's not my job. Whoa. Has someone done something nasty? Naughty. Oh, no. UK Richie. You do this too. I hope you're a millionaire or something, mate. If you're not a millionaire, then I'm gonna be. To me, that's a lot of money. I know that modern day, like UK minimum wage and all that, shot up. I had this conversation earlier today. When I had a business way back, I haven't muted that shit either. When I had a business, I paid people way above the minimum wage, almost double. But the minimum wage was like £6 at the time, I think. And then they introduced what did they call it? They upped the minimum wage, but they introduced the living wage. There was a minimum wage, and then they brought out the living wage or something. And yeah, no, to me, anything over a tenner an hour sounds like a lot of money. And you're sending me this each week almost, it feels like. I'm borderline embarrassed at the amount that you're sending, UK Richie. Appreciate you, my friend, appreciate you, but we might have to have words. We might have to have words. You already sent me enough to pay for the fucking solar panels and shit. Oh, hold on. Why did it say there was two things? Oh, that's... I'm going into the app. I didn't want to go into the app. I have a terrible habit of reading my pin out while I'm typing it. I don't know if you've noticed that when I'm gonna have to change my pin because I keep fucking reading it out. Oh yeah, Akadaka the other day as well. I should be thanking the people. I'll do it on Sunday. I'll make a list of everyone that's donated recently, and I'll do a special thank you for everyone. I earn a decent wage, but I'm no millionaire, says UK Richie. Gary from the Republic of South Africa. Good evening, Mike and Tina and everyone online. Hope you're all well, Mike. Did you get a haircut? I did. I got a haircut. I trimmed my beard live. I did it on camera on Wednesday. I'm not sure if it was in the first half or the second. I got cut off and had to start a second stream. I couldn't reconnect to the first one. I think I lost half the audience. I think I did the beard trim in the second half isn't the right word, but in the second stream, the recovery stream, I think I called it. Hold on. Condoms can be used as a catapult. Oh, I'd never thought of that. I know that inner tube you can use bicycle inner tubes as the elasticated part. Because my mate Ismo goes through inner tubes at a fair old rate when he's over here, and he'll be over here soon. And they only cost, they're like €3 or €4 per inner tube from Decathlon for his bike. So maybe I can do something there. We got mind you, the trees here are all dying. They're falling over. So that they're probably no good for the wood. Temu though, folks. Temu. I can always put in a Temu order, can't I? Let me finish this because my coffee is very cold. This one, I kept the lid off too long. I'm gonna finish this and bring the other one down. Down in one, folks. Down in one. Let me get the other. I can't. Oh, I've pushed it. I accidentally pushed it back out of the way. Let me see how hot this is. This is the one where I usually burn myself. Testing how hot it, expecting it not to be hot, and it will be. Oh yeah. Yeah, hot. Oh yeah. There's no rush to get back to that one. I'll be able to drink my beer in peace while I wait for that one to cool down a little bit. All right, now I'm working forwards. I'm back there with Keith and his condoms can be used. I don't have condoms, by the way, mate. For some reason, I haven't had much use for such things in the last couple of years. Cross my mind, but get one will be too tempting to use on stone throwers, internet troll. Yeah. Yeah, the catapult thing. I could just go with, you see, I thought the other day about just getting a bit of material, bit of fabric, tie it around the wrist, pinch the other end, and you could just do the David and Goliath fucking slingshot. I don't really need anything too fancy, just a bit of fabric. I can fashion something. Do you see? It's in here. I got the nous. I got the knowledge. Although there's arguments whether David and Goliath, whether he used the what's it called, where you tie the slingshot to a stake, a wooden pole, and do it that way. There's arguments amongst scholars about which type of, if it's a true story, I know it's gospel, but you know, if it's a true story, was it the shepherd's sling that you just tie to your wrist and a finger and whoosh that way, or was it the one on the end of the pole? These things are debated. Scholars are torn on the issue. So 2 issues. Is it a true story at all? And if it was, which type of slingshot was it? Stone throws an internet trolls. Yeah, there was Gary arriving. Did you get your hair cut? Yeah, I had my ears lowered. Looking fresh. I'm considering digging out the Mac 3. I have a proper razor back here and a set of 5. Okay, if you say 5 blades, that's wrong because there's 3 blades in each. Mac 3, I think there's 3 on each head, isn't there? I got 5 heads, and despite the fact that we've been through floods and things, the last I saw them, they're remarkably kind of clean and intact. I thought steel would have rusted, but they must be stainless. They must be stainless steel, which would surprise me. We got a car pulled into the road at the top and stopped halfway down. Fly tipping, possibly, or rumpy pumpy with a prosy, maybe. Takes all sorts, folks. It is Friday night. Where are we? 20 past 11 local time. A little bit early for the prosies, but you never know. Mouth this big and I missed. Unbelievable. There's motion out there. I can hear movement. Always a little wary. Always a little wary when there's people lurking around. Try to turn your digits into some paper money in your pocket in case network blackout. I do. I try and maintain an amount of real world money. So I've got my Tippy Tappy card, which Karen populates with the paper. I send her the PayPal money, and she puts it on this UK post office account kind of card thing. But I do, when people give me real world money, like my mate Tom last Friday, I think, yeah, when I was on Friday, I said that my friend Tom was pulling in as I finished at 2:30 in the morning. He was parking up at the top of the road there, and when I went, he brought me a bag of, food from his cupboards and fridge. But he passed me a note. This was incredible, folks. He passed me, and I thought, it's in the middle of the night, I couldn't see anything, and it looked brown. I thought maybe it was a tenner. When I looked at it the next morning, it's a fucking 50. So Tom, I know you do. He doesn't really watch these really long streams. He catches bits and pieces, half an hour here and quarter of an hour there. But the next morning, when I looked in my pocket and saw what the note was, I had to ask him whether it was, I had to wait till he got home in the afternoon. He was flying back. That's why he was passing by. And I asked, like, in the dark, have you accidentally passed me, like, the wrong note? Was it meant to be a 10 or a 20 and you've accidentally passed me a 50? No mistake, he says. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, my friend. Tom, thank you. Incredible. I'm so lucky at the support I get from people. People like UK Richie, people like Sven. Sven sends me €20 every month. Karen, who was here today cutting my hair, bringing me an air fryer. What else? 2 crates of beer because it's the weekend. Right, it's a bank holiday weekend. Some of the shops might not be open. So they brought me some beer. And the sangria. They brought me the sangria. Karen family. Thank you, folks. Hello, Christine, if you're out there. 1 hour 20 is the timestamp if anybody wants to tell Karen when she arrives, if she arrives. I always keep some folding money in case problems, but if shit really hits the fan, I can't see it helping much. And a lot of places, like we had the big power cut here in Spain last year, didn't we? And a lot of places just couldn't take money. The tills weren't working. You know, just normal cash registers. Some of the supermarkets had a backup generator just to keep the tills going, just to keep the tills. But obviously card payments and things were gone. With that needs the internet. Those were gone. But people who wanted to pay cash in the supermarket could. Yeah. Whoa, it jumped. What are your views on the moon flight? This is interesting. So it's almost, isn't it, almost 60 years after the first one. 69 was it we went there. So it's 57 years ago. Now they're bragging that this one will be the furthest that humans have ever gone because we're going around and not landing. My view is basically we're aiming for the moon and we're missing by a bigger margin than we did back then. I think Apollo, hold on, let me get my numbers right. Apollo 11 was Armstrong and co, yeah? But Apollo 8, I think, circled the moon before the other ones landed. I think Apollo 8. My numbers could be off. I think Apollo 11 was Armstrong, Collins, Armstrong and Aldrin. Everyone always forgets about Michael Collins because he didn't land. But 57 years later, and we're missing by a bigger margin to go wider around, and so that we can say that we've gone further than we did last time. Also, the moon's orbit is a little bit elliptical, and so it's a little bit further out anyway. But I'm not impressed. 57 years later, we went too soon, is my ultimate opinion about the first time round that we went. We went so soon that it cost so much that made it inopportune. We didn't carry on. It was something we did 6 times. We tried for a 7th, didn't we? Apollo 13 that one went wrong. We went 6 times. We landed 6 pairs of people on the moon, allegedly. I believe we went, but that's. But then we left it so long that there's nobody left that went. The engineers. So the guys who actually landed were in their 20s, maybe 30s at a push. A few of them, I think we've got 4 of them left. I looked this up the other week. I think there's only 4 of the original 12 that landed. Oh, look at that. That was a shock. My PayPal just opened and I saw how little I've got, despite UK Richie sending me that money, because I bought the things. I bought the solar panels and the cable. I had to pay 20 euros for a fucking cable again. MC4 to XT60. I'm not even sure it's an I. It should have been, but it might not be. Hold on. How many of the 12? No, that's not how you spell how. How many of the 12? That's not a number. 12 astronauts, not apostles. Astronauts are still alive. I think it's 4. 4 as of April 2026. Buzz Aldrin, David Scott, Charles Duke, and Harrison Schmitt. We've only got 4 of that, but that's the astronauts. Those were the young men, the fighter pilot type guys. The engineers would probably have been older. They would have been in their 30s, 40s, 50s back then. They're all gone. So we're having to like rediscover it and do it all over again. So we went too soon, it cost too much, we weren't ready, and because of that we didn't keep up the momentum afterwards. And now we're going back. There's no way we're landing. This whole Artemis project, and I think they're still to pick the lander. The last I heard, they were going to pick Elon's, his big one, and have it land vertical as they do, as it. But there's no way that's not gonna happen. He can't land the fucker back on Earth hardly. On a small helipad kind of smooth surface. His odds of landing that on the moon with people in it. No. Elon Musk has achieved some great things, but he's the king of over-promising and under-delivering. So yeah, I think the Artemis project is doomed. I don't think it's going to be the success in the way it's meant to be. It's nice that we go there and fly around and come back. I just don't see it. I don't see us landing people on the moon. Wasn't it supposed to be in 2 or 3 years? We're already late. It's already over budget and over schedule and fucked up. I don't know. So yeah. Happy Good Friday, everyone, said Sign of Nature Keith. I never know what to say to people when they say things like Happy Easter and so forth. Not a thing in my experience. We made the cards when we were kids. The chicken, the rabbit, and the egg, and you were made to make these Easter cards at school. I've never made an Easter card, given anyone an Easter card. Only once in my adult life did I ever receive an Easter card. It's just not a thing in my. I am heathen scum. I mean, let's state that outright. Let's put that up there up front. I am basically an atheist, but I value the Christian heritage, the Christian-based culture that I'm from. I'm not getting into that whole set of politics right here, right now, today, but that's. Draw from that as you will. So that was Zami that was asking about the moon flight, and Keith, he said, have a good Friday. UK Richie, I'm reading some zombie apocalypse fiction, sorry. Makes me want to be a prepper to some degree. We should all be preppers. 2020 should have taught us this. 2020 was your wake-up call, my friend. How quickly the shops can be emptied, how quickly people can turn on each other and start grassing each other up to government hotlines, how quickly the police will snatch at any new power and If you were in Spain at that point, my God. As soon as they sensed a new power, they were all over it. It was diabolical. 4 men driving around in cars with smoked black windows. And they're like, if you've ever seen Spanish police, the Guardia Civil in particular, they are like squaddies. They are physically fit. But they're driving around looking for trouble. Stopping and questioning people. Why are you here? Where are you going? Why are you out? Why are you more than 25 meters from your house? Don't you live in that urbanization? You've got a balcony. Why don't you just have your dog piss and shit on the balcony and not? Why are you even out? You could have stayed in. Beating people up for buying beer. You're only supposed to be shopping for essentials. Trying to dictate, trying to close aisles in the supermarket. Because that aisle's not critical, that's not urgent. All the things. Society can devolve really quickly. So we should all be preppers to some extent. What surprised me during COVID, this was Americans in particular don't have food in the house. They go out every day for McDonald's or whatever. Some people just, or they'll go shopping that day just for that day's food. So go to the grocery store rather than supermarket, but go to the grocery store and just buy that day's food each day. Then you start hearing about people, I guess Brits as well, who didn't have more than 3 days' food in the house. When I was a kid, you had a pantry. You had a month's worth of food in the bloody house. You had a deep freezer and a fridge freezer, and you had all the freezers, cupboards full of food, and a pantry full of food. You didn't have to think of, I can't go to the shop for a week, therefore we're going to starve to death. Weird. I'm a tramp in a field, and I would swear I've got a month's worth of food here. If I had a list, if I got a camera out tomorrow and showed you all the food that's here, and I'm a fucking tramp in a field. Now maybe I'm a little bit of a hoarder, and maybe half of it is fucking ketchup and mayonnaise, and I've got brown sauce. I've got Branston pickle. I thought I had piccalilli, but I don't seem to be able to find it. I got all the pickles and things, but I've got 5 kilograms of potatoes and 2 kilograms of onions, or I did have until I cooked some of them the other day. I've got steak and burger and sausages, and I got cauliflower and broccoli. And I'm a fucking tramp in a field. And I must now, thanks to Karen and her family, I must have about 100 litres, I must have over 100 litres of water here. So I've got a month's worth of water set aside. A weekend's worth of beer and some sangria. I did just finish, I think. Yeah, I did just finish some vodka. I think Karen brought that. Was it last week or the week before? Karen brought this. It's a good 10 days ago, maybe. I just finished that last night, I think. I don't do bad for a tramp in a field, do I, guys? I've got 2 jars of coffee. I misplaced a pack of sugar. Turns out it was on a chair that got rained on. So it's a solid block of sugar. It's a kilogram solid block of sugar. But it can be smashed up and put into water and then put into coffee. So I've got 2 packs of sugar, 2 jars of coffee. I got a bag of powdered milk, at least one, maybe more. I've got soups and I got more pasta than you can shake a fucking stick at. I've got 3 tins of tomatoes. Yeah, I reckon I could survive a month with what I've got here. And I'm a tramp in a field. So what some people are doing with no food in the house, God only knows. I don't understand it at all. We should all be preppers to some extent. Don't become a fucking hoarder like me, though. Once you've got the food, actually eat, keep eating some of it. I keep putting it off and putting it off. I was going to cook that steak on Wednesday and I still haven't. I still haven't cooked it yet. The burger I've had a week. They're all in the they're all on the verge of being frozen. They're just above frozen, but they'll be good when I get round to them. I have a can of the second half of UK Richies. I have a can of beans, but that won't last too long when civilization collapses. No, you want a kilogram of dry beans. You need chickpeas, beans, lentils. You need them dry, because then they go forever. I think, do I have I think I've got a tin of baked beans left somewhere. Or I have a terrible habit of just sitting there and eating them straight out of the can when I've got them. Especially if they're Heinz. Yeah, no, 1 tin of beans won't go very. It sounds like DM is ahead of all of us. Ahead of us all. Oh, that's Karen. Hello, Karen. That was at 23:29. I'm only 7 minutes behind, maybe, yeah? Maybe 10 minutes. 10 minutes behind. I do all right on stocking up on food. I was down to my last 20 litres of water before Karen arrived in country a couple of weeks ago. That was getting low. I was on the verge of having to put out a shout for water. The last time I did that, I had 2 fantastic people arrive and bring me water. I think Karen wasn't able to be out at that time, and David Schofield, that was here at the beginning. I don't know if he's still there, David, but David was one of the people that arrived and brought me water way back. I had 2 people arrive within days, each bringing, roughly speaking, 50 litres. So that was fantastic. I was almost there again this time, but I knew Karen was coming out, and they drink the bottled water and then refill the bottles for me with tap water's good enough for me. Farmer is kind of thanking Karen for the cleanup job that she did on me. If having a stock of beer is prepping, then I feel a bit better prepared. Oh man, when COVID hit, I'd been watching it on the news and the spread of it, and in particular the ski resorts in, was it France? It was the gay blokes, wasn't it, that were spreading it like billy-o, because they're so promiscuous, I guess is the word. Anything like that that's spreadable tends to get spread really quickly. Anyway, I was watching this about how it was all spreading, and I thought this could be a thing. So I'd been building up some stocks of extra food. I was sharing an apartment with a bloke, and when I did the shopping, I was getting an extra bag, and I was just putting that away in the bottom of the wardrobe. So when it started to look like it was here and it was going to be a thing, he borrowed someone's car and we went and did one more big shopping trip. We bought 8 cases of beer. We just had them fucking piled high. 12 packs of beer and a load of food and everything as well. Plus everything that I'd been saving up and stashing in the bottom of the wardrobe for the 2 or 3 weeks beforehand. I kind of, I deny being a prepper to some extent. I'm prepper adjacent. I'm prepper aware, and yeah, my circumstances didn't really allow me don't really allow me to be a prepper. But I do my best with what I've got. I do my best with what I've got. Plandemic, says Keith. I thought you would. Black beans are the best. I have a tin of black beans actually over here somewhere. I couldn't. I've got. I do have chickpeas and. Now I only get the. I don't know if this is a Spain thing. I've never seen red lentils over here. I only get the. I don't know what they're called. They're kind of greyish. They're the plain lentils, not the sweeter, redder ones. But I've got chickpeas, lentils, and a tin of so mainly dry. My chickpeas and my lentils are dry. I've got loads of rice, 2 or 3 bags of rice. I've got more pasta than I know what to do with. I got bags of mashed potato, powdered mashed potato. I've got noodles. Packet soups. Yeah, I've got all sorts. Yeah, honestly, I literally think I could survive probably 2 or 3 months with what's here. Without, it sounds boastful, doesn't it? It's a little bit over the top for a tramp in a field, really. But I've been careful with the resources that I have. I know I have this reputation as, pissing it all against the wall, but I don't. I'm in Spain and it is cheap. This can of beer is like 30 cents. Maybe less. Plus or more, 1 or 2 cents either side of 30. Oh, if this one might be from the Chino Bazaar. I might be paying 40 for these ones. I pay nearly a £5. It's £4.90 for a 12-pack here because it saves me having to go half an hour away to the supermarket. So I think I bought this, but the other ones, the ones that Karen and Co have brought me, well, apart from the fact they didn't cost me anything, but even if it was being paid for, it's 31 cents, something like that. So I've been judicious, is that the word? With the resources that I have, with the money that I'm given. I mean, if you look, 2 EcoFlows. I will have 3 solar panels, although one of them's broken. But I will have 3 solar panels as of this weekend, probably. I'm not forcing when Karen comes, but whenever they do deliver, I will have 3 solar panels. I've still got a foldable solar panel, my original one. If you watch some of my earlier videos, I think is it 3 or 4 panels? I think it's 3 panels that folds in on itself. I've got the 2 little ones that were 10 watts each that Mark and Jeff gave me ages ago. Still haven't found my wire cutters. I do need to do some work on that. There's a repair needed, and my wire cutters are missing. I'm lost on that. But yeah, I've got a veg rack here full of food. I've got 6 or 8 drawers over there full of food. I've got boxes with food in. Yeah. It would be an interesting experiment to see how long I could last with no input from outside, just with what I've already got here. If I was to do that, I would probably get a new gas bottle first. I bought that gas bottle between Christmas and New Year. It's about 3 months. and it's probably is that 4 months? Hold on. No, it's just the end of March would have been 3 months. It is probably in the last quarter. The last. It's not on vapors. It's not that bad, but it is getting there. It won't last too much longer. That's another €20, isn't it? But yeah, that would be the only thing that I would worry about in the first month or 6 weeks if I was to just survive on what I've got here now. That and running out of beer. You know, let's not get too extreme. But yeah, someone's saying hello to Mashtag, and I haven't seen Mashtag. Oh, there you go. Let me just scroll back. Hello, Mike. You look 20 years younger. Thank you, my friend. There was Karen arriving. Do it, says UK Richie. I don't know what that's to. Is that to me surviving a month on my preps? Everyone in the shadows type prep if you're ready for the price hikes, rationing, etc. There's a lot of talk of rationing. One of the guys that I follow, UK Urban Prepper, hold on, or is it Urban Prepper UK? Guy called Mike. He's a proper Mike, not a pretend one like me. He's in Scotland at the minute visiting family, and he had to go around 4 or 5 petrol stations today to get some diesel. And it was it 199.9 per litre for his diesel? I think it was 199. Basically £2 a litre. It was 30 or 40 pence more than unleaded petrol, which surprised me. Didn't diesel used to be the cheaper alternative? That's why all the taxis and everything were loud and noisy, because they were running on the cheaper fuel. If having a stock of beer is prepping, okay, I think I saw that one. I have the means to make my own beer. Oh, that's the means to make your own. Oh, the mash and the, what's it called? Yeah, you get your, oh, what do you got? Is it barley wheat and hops, and you make your mash, boil it all up. As it cools down, you add do you add sugar and yeast? Do you need sugar? I'm not sure if you need to add extra sugar, or if that just comes from your mash. Don't know. It's not. I've never done it. I've done ginger beer or ginger ale. I'm not sure the distinction. I did that on stream here once. Farmer. I don't know. AFK for a bit. Black beans. How far back has this jumped? Lentils, fried onions, curry powder makes a good meal. Yeah. I mean, this is the old argument about whether, what's the word I'm looking for? Not so much a curry. What's the other one? South America, Mexico, and the old argument about if it's got beans in it, it's not a. There's a word, and I'm not going to get the word, am I? I'm not going to get the word. Come on, somebody. Spicy beans and mince and all of the things, but we can argue about the beans. But Mexican. Oh, my head is I am a cabbage sometimes. Don't know. We'll get there. They said you can't leave home unless you take our drugs. Spicy flu knockdown. Oh yeah, the COVID. Once we were getting onto the COVID passports and things, so that you could get into restaurants and things. Yeah. Prove that you've had the jab, or you can't go. the way that society became quite totalitarian quite quickly. And I think a lot of people are oblivious to that or have forgotten that. Healthcare workers that were dubious about the jab, but they were forced to get it, otherwise they couldn't work. People in the military, all sorts, weren't there? Yeah. Yeah, we I'm not sure what I can say. YouTuberiness. Tina, you literally can't lay across the fucking bed, darling. Dog. I just topped my X5, don't know what that is, up, and also struggled to get diesel. Have a 90-litre tank and it cost 2,500 rand. I've got no concept. Sorry, my ignorance. Let me do a 2,500 rand into something an earthling can understand. That's not how you spell rand. That is. I'll do it to dollars. About $147, which will be about 125 quid, I guess, 125 pounds, probably. There ain't a big difference between pounds, euros, and dollars anymore. 10% or thereabouts, isn't it? Yeah. Tinned black beans are hard to find in Spain. Mine came from you, so I've no idea. I don't know where you sourced them. They could have come over in the vehicle from the UK. Chili's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, hashtag. That is the word. Chili. And the big argument, if it's got beans, it's not a chili. That's Big Bang Theory. What's it? Sheldon. Yeah. It's a whole Tex-Mex, Mexican argument. Must add ginger to your red lentils as well. Sliced bangers. Oh, now you go. You see, I've got sausages here. I've got chorizo somewhere as well. Oh, I've had that so long that might have gone off by now. Does chorizo go off if the packet's not open? Probably eventually. You gotta be careful not to mix too many flavors, but chorizo would be a. There are meals that are chorizo and beans. Whether you go lentils or chickpeas or whatever, there are stews and things that you can do based on chorizo. I had to go a while ago. What did I do? I think I tried chorizo in a curry and the flavors clashed. Was it a curry? I did the video and I said don't cook this. If you look in my cookery videos, if you look in the description, you'll find at the bottom you'll find a list of playlists. One of them is Cooking with a Tramp. But one of the videos I did, I said don't cook that. That don't work. I had a clash of flavors between the spiciness of the chorizo and my attempted curryness. Yeah, no, it was two very different. They didn't gel. They didn't sit right together. That was no good. That was one. I've cooked many things that don't work, including my Yorkshire pudding attempts, because I haven't got an oven. None of my Yorkshire pudding attempts have worked properly. They either don't solidify or I burn the bottom before the rest cooked. Trying to cook a Yorkshire pudding in a frying pan should work. The Dutch do a thing called a Dutch baby, which is basically the same thing. You start it on the hob and then I think you put it in the oven at the end. But I'm outside. The heat gets wicked away by the atmosphere outside, and it never, it doesn't work right. It hasn't worked for me so far. I'm yet to fathom a box that I could call an oven. Yeah, no. Scrolling. Mustard ginger tea. Yeah, red lentil. I haven't even got to the red lentils. I don't find red lentils, only the brown ones or whatever they're called. Chili recipes are controversial. All sorts of food recipes are controversial. Spag bol is like spaghetti bolognese is like the ultimate controversy. For a start, the Italians say that spaghetti is not the right pasta to have with it. There's a controversy. The official, is it Bologna or whatever the town is? They have an official recipe. It doesn't include garlic. So there's no garlic in a spag bol. Spaghetti's not even the right pasta. The whole red wine versus white wine debate. And then there's whether you put milk in or not. Food. Jamie Oliver, was it Jamie Oliver made the news? Was that in Italy or I think it was in Spain? I think he did he do a paella? And he broke all the rules and it was literal news fucking headlines. Jamie Olive Oil, yeah. Tin black beans hard to find in Spain. Loads in Asda. €104. That was the filling your tank, Gary, yeah. Wow, you're much better and younger with less hair and beard, says Joanne. Hello again, Joanne. It's been a little while, I think. Yeah, you know, I scrub up well for a tramp who lives in a field. I was considering getting the actual razor out, and I'm gonna keep the we can argue about whether or not it's a goatee or a Van Dyke, although I was saying Van Gogh earlier because I'm an idiot. But I was thinking of shaving the sides, properly shaving, but then that means that a lot of Karen's work tapering it in and whatever might go to waste. But if I can dig out the Mach 3, if I can dig out my proper razor from under here somewhere. So if I explain, I've got a box here. I've got a box that's got clothes in. But there's so much stuff piled on top of it that I then put a big chopping board over the top of that to give me another flat surface. And then there's that much stuff piled on top of that. It would take me 10 minutes to get down and into that box there, but somewhere under the chopping board and between the box and the chopping board, somewhere is my proper razor and the blades to go with it. Probably, maybe. I don't know. Flat surface, folks. You give me a flat. Oh, you're live. Apparently I got disconnected again. Just before the 2-hour mark. And we're on 2 hours. I've lost a minute somewhere in the... Or maybe I was a minute or two late, wasn't I? Because I was making coffee. Speaking of which, let me crack on with that. Because it's now... Is that now midnight my time? It is. That's midnight my time. Do you know that is still... Oh, that is still that little bit too hot. These insulated cups, what's the brand? Quechua. Quechua? Quechua. I don't know. It's a insulated cup from, I think from Decathlon, Karen, if you're still there. I think it's from Decathlon, yeah? Alright, let me just check that that's still the latest message and the chat hasn't frozen on me. Yeah, okay, that was Joanne with the much better and younger with less hair and beard. Thank you. Appreciated. All compliments are gratefully received. Joanne, Glasgow, yeah? I think. Glasgow. What's the weather been like in Glasgow? Jack Attack was here earlier. He's also Glaswegian. If I'm remembering right, Jack Attack's also, but he didn't explain what the weather's been like. I'm hoping that you're coming into spring like the rest of us, and that things are not as cold as they might have been. We've still got this the Arctic inversion thing. What's that called? The Arctic. Another word for vacuum. No, words, folks. Works. Words. Fuck! I can't even say the word words. Arctic weather. The story was here before and now it's not. Arctic what? All the words have all left me. Arctic. Not Arctic Circle, Arctic Ocean. Weather, come on. I don't want the weather in the Arctic, it's about the weather. No. I haven't got the vocabulary to even do the proper search, folks. That's how bad I am at this. I saw that we still had that thing that's disappeared, and that means that the jet stream's coming further south than it should, giving us cold temperatures, colder temperatures than we should have. I've got the words inversion and vacuum in my head, and neither are correct. Help! I have no fucking clue. It was like one of the featured stories earlier when when you're on your home screen and you swipe to the right and you get that news feed. Whoops. It was one of the stories and now it's not there. Leaving me just gibbering. Let me see if I can come up with a better search term. If I just search weather and jet stream, probably. Weather, jet stream. Oh. Yeah, I don't want a definition of what it is. I know what it is. No. You're, no. Can I have another go? Oh, it would have been better if I'd spelt the word jet properly. There's no H at the beginning of jet. No, I haven't got the vocabulary to even put together a proper search for what I'm talking about. Which tells me I'm talking about things I know not enough about. Polar jet stream tracker map, global jet stream. Nope. No, I'm defeated. Where are we? The eye of Storm Dave is due to pass over Cumbria tomorrow. Does anybody remember when Cumbria was called Cumberland? I thought that was more poetic. I liked Cumberland. If I remember correctly, see, that isn't Wales. They're all derived from the same. Isn't it? Means hill or mountain. Talk of power cuts and being prepared for zombies. That bit was just a book I'm reading. Yeah. Prepping's always good though. Now chat started to jump, which is always annoying. Oh yeah, I got you. I managed to get that fly. It's been annoying me. Let me just make sure I'm not talking shit. But the Cumber in Cumbria and Cumberland means mountain, yeah? And it's the same word as Wales, Cymru. Cumbria means hills. Let me ask Google. The AI thing will kick in. The name does not mean hills, but it shares the same Celtic root as Cymru, Wales. Compatriots. The village of Torpenhow in Cumbria is famously cited as a tautological example of hill, hill, hill. Torpenhow, derived from Torpenhow, meaning hill ridge. Hill, hill, hill. That's like the River Severn, isn't it? The word river, and the River Avon. Is that right? River obviously means river, but so does Severn and Avon. What's the other one? The Japanese one? Mount Fuji. Fuji means mount or mountain, and so does mount. And some people will call Torpenhow, they'll call it Torpenhow Hill. So you get hill, 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 hill. There you go. So Cumbria shares the same root as Cymru, or however you're going to do the Wales thing. Doesn't actually mean hill, but means compatriots. Oh well, you live and you learn. So I was talking shit again. It's not the first time. But you know, each week we try and learn something new here, don't we, folks? If you remember, we discussed the difference between a tax and a duty. A tax and a duty. What was the difference? If you tax a whole array of things, that's a tax. Once you start naming specifics like wine, spirits, alcohol, however you're gonna, then it's a duty. You've also got imports and things like that, which complicate matters. But that was one thing we learnt one week. What did we learn last week? There must have been something. There's usually something that we learn. Today we learnt that Cymru and Cumbria mean compatriots, not hill or mountain. I can't remember some of the other. I'm going to have to watch some of the other shows back again, aren't I? Let's see what we have learnt. I always try and give you some little factual bit of info each week. We look up all sorts of shit, the random stuff that comes to my mind, but then I can't remember them the week after, so what's the point? I guess the point is that it's there on tape, on film, however you want to view this, on video, and can be looked back upon and learnt from. Maybe. Is that Karen off? Hold on, I missed. Okay, got to go. See you tomorrow, says Karen. Good night, Karen. Hope that wasn't too long ago. 8 minutes past the hour. All right, I'm only 4 or 5 minutes behind, folks. I'm only 4 or 5 minutes behind. I pay taxes to Cumberland, now Cumbria, split into Cumberland and, oh yeah, Westmoreland. We used to get the Gazette, Westmoreland Gazette. You get that in Lancaster. Lancaster, well, I've no idea whether it still exists. Newspapers, you know, they've probably all gone out of business now, haven't they? We had the Lancaster Guardian, we had the Visitor from Morecambe. Those have probably all gone by the wayside. Don't know. Westmoreland. Yeah, my wife went to the Westmoreland. Is it hospital? I'm not sure how that's worded. She could either wait 2 years for Lancaster Royal Infirmary, or she could go and get it done like a week later in Westmoreland, whatever it is, hospital, infirmary, whatever word they stick on the end of these things nowadays. What was it? I think that must have been. Oh, was that knee surgery, or was that that might have been a gallbladderectomy? I don't know. That kind of thing. All right, folks, talk to a tramp. What are we going to talk about? I tried asking you all about what the weather's been like. There's Storm Dave, apparently. That doesn't sound real to me. I don't know. If I type Storm Dave into Google, is that real? Storm Dave 2026, yeah. It's a real thing. Storm Dave named ahead of windy Easter weekend, said the Met Office a day ago. 90 miles per hour gales when it hits Scotland. Okay, we've got the BBC. I don't normally trust the Beeb anymore, but I think with weather we can. What do we got? Yellow weather warnings for wind, rain and snow ahead of the arrival of Storm Dave. Deep area of low pressure to pass across the northwest of the UK on Saturday night, with a threat of severe gales, flooding and blizzards. That doesn't sound good. Easter weekend forecast very mixed. Snow for some and warm sunshine for others. 50 to 70 miles an hour in the north of England. Isolated gusts 80 to 90 miles an hour in the north of Scotland. It's going to be a bit rough, folks. It's going to be a bit rough. Bridges could close, ferry services may be cancelled. Possible delays for planes, trains and buses. You could have said planes, trains and automobiles just to pad it out a little bit. It's only yellow though, only yellow alerts. This is because I didn't get my sleep, folks. I did not get my nap. Stock up on black beans while you can, and red lentils if you can get them. I can't. I only get the. Do you call them yellow lentils or brown lentils? Wow, they're kind of a greyy. They're a greyy brown. They're not that appetizing looking. I watch a bloke called Weary Wolf. There's a lot of food challenges trying to eat for 30 pence a meal and stuff. Pound a day with 3 meals a day, and he's always got the red lentils. Red lentils, porridge oats. What are his other rice? These are the staples that you get by on these challenges with. He made a curry recently using the banana skins, which I was one of a few people that was kind of telling him banana skins are technically edible. Yeah. The PR team for lentils refers to them as green lentils, but they're more grey. That's my. I can't say my consensus, can I? You can't have a consensus of one. But yeah, that they're kind of an unappetizing, grey brown. I mean, they're brownish when they're cooked. I don't know. I'd like to mix them more. I'd like to have some of the red ones, and there are some yellow ones as well, I believe. Oh, that was one of the things that we learnt a few weeks ago, wasn't it? About peppers, capsicums. That there's no such thing as a a green pepper, an orange pepper, a yellow pepper, and a red. They're all the same fucking pepper. They're not different plants. They're not different things. It's just how ripe they are. But perversely, the yellow ones go off before any others. This was one of the facts that we learnt maybe the week before last. So you would think, with the red ones being the most ripe and therefore the oldest, those should be the ones that go off first. So they go green, then there's a kind of a green and yellow, yellow, orange, red. And it's the yellow ones that go off first. Don't know why. I didn't get an understanding of the why, because it's not like that's the latest incarnation of that's not the oldest version. But in my experience, it is the case. If I get a pack of 3 peppers and I happen to keep them for longer than I should, always the fucking yellow ones that do the liquefaction thing, that slip through your fingers when you go to pick them up. Always the yellow. The green and the red can still be quite firm, but it's the yellow, just goes through your fingers. Maybe yellow is the most biologically active stage, so they go bad soonest. Yeah, I mean, there's something there. Because I kind of thought maybe it's my imagination, but I asked Google and it confirmed, yes, the yellow ones go bad first. You know, that AI thing that I don't know the name of it, but the Google AI thing. You hardly ever need to click through to an actual website to get an answer. The AI steps in and tells you, it answers your question for you. Quite remarkable, really. It's all done by pilfering information from those sites that it's now not sending you to, so that they can just show you more and more adverts in the Google results. Kind of stolen valor, isn't it? They've stolen the answers from the websites that it used to be part of the deal. Hey, yeah, we've taken a snippet, but we will pass the people to your website. Nowadays they don't. They just give you the answer there on the page, so you don't need to click through. They're robbing from those poor website owners. Car coming in. I have a bag of orange pepper lurking in my fridge. Thankfully they're in the sealed bag, but they've reached the menacing stage. I've actually got a couple of big, you know, the big red ones. I got a couple of those in different donations from different people, and I've had them so long that they're starting to go. I'm gonna have to have a fry up. I'm gonna say tomorrow, but I was still wanting to go to Tweeties for my fish and chips. I'm still hankering after them because I had my mind set on fish and chips today and then didn't go. But I've got other things that need using. I've got a burger, I've got a load of sausages, and I've got a steak. I've got peppers that need using, as I was just discussing. My onions aren't in the best shape. They're getting quite old now. And I've got my last 2 cauliflowers I've had to throw away. I never got round to them. I've got cauliflower and broccoli fresh that need. I mean, they're not in an urgent need of using, but I should. While I'm cooking anyway, I should get on with those because otherwise I'll end up throwing those away as well. The last 2 we just kept having bad weather. It was either windy or raining, and I just couldn't. And maybe on the occasional day when I could have, I just wasn't in a fucking mood, and just it takes a long time for a cauliflower to go off. But my last 2, I hate wasting food and wasting money. Hate that. I've got carrots as well. That's a separate bag, a different donation. I've had some oranges go bad. People keep giving me oranges and I just don't know what to do with them. Yeah, oranges I rarely get around to. I love tangerines and satsumas, you know, the little ones. But a big full-on orange doesn't often appeal. They're so sticky and horrible. They're so difficult to do anything with. I know, folks. Okay, we're coming up on 2.5 hours. I think I'm running out of steam, mainly because I didn't get my nap in beforehand. We'll probably call it quits on the 2.5 hour mark. We won't make it to 4 hours, I don't think. Saw a thing about oranges starting out green the other day. Really? Do lemons start green? Can you tell the difference between a lemon and a lime early on? I've got a feeling lemons start green. This was another one that we did the other week. Green and black olives, they're the same thing. It's just how long you leave them on the tree, or how early you take them. I can't remember which way around that was. So it's not like you have a black olive tree and a green olive tree. They're the same fucking thing. It's another one of those, I think. Let's check it, because I do sometimes talk bullshit when I'm doing these things, but I think I remember that correctly. Black and green olives are the same thing. How do you ask that? Black and green olives, same thing. Same tree. Yes, black and green olives grow on the same tree. They're the same fruit at different stages of maturity. Green olives are harvested early and are the unripe ones, while black olives are the ones left on the tree to ripen. This was something that we did cover. We should keep a list, folks, of these random ass facts that I spit out of nowhere, and then have to double check myself to make sure that I'm not talking shit. Limes and lemons. Hold on. I'm going to type lemons are green. Just to... lemons can be green, particularly when immature. There we go. You see? They turn yellow due to cooler temperatures, breaking down chlorophyll. Green lemons are often ripe. Hold on. Green lemons are often ripe and edible. So how the fuck do you tell whether it's a lemon or a lime when it's on the tree? I had no idea, folks. Green lemons are a thing. Now you know. Who knew? Are lemons just bigger limes then? How is there a size difference? I don't know. Every now and again, someone will bring me lemons, and I never get around to use. I have no use for them whatsoever. I don't know what to do. When someone gives me a lemon, I'll put it here in the veg drawer, and invariably it'll have gone off before I find any use for it. Don't forget the pancakes on Jif Lemon Day. I've got plastic lemons. So I made pancakes early, not on Pancake Day. I think I was a day or two late. Again, weather. But my big plastic lemon is outside still. Because again, that's the one day of the year or the one time. Pancakes, sugar, and lemon. That's it. I've got no use for lemons otherwise. Slice of lemon in a cold beer is not a bad thing. Only if you're drinking some kind of Ponzi lagery beer, I guess. What's the Corona, wasn't it? Well, if you something like that with a lemon or a lime in slice in the top, it's a bit gay for me. I feel gay enough drinking lager. I'm a bitter drinker. Can you? I'm using gay as a slur again, aren't I? Fuck it, it's what we do. That's lost me one or two friends in the past. You know, I love Ponzi lager beer with lemon. What's the one with the fucking maggot in the bottom? That's not even a. Is that tequila? There's one of them, isn't there? I think you get an opaque bottle so that you can't see the maggot in it. Worm. It's a worm. Woodworm, maybe. Not sure. But there is one of them. There is one of them. Yeah. If you are a puff, don't take offence at me using the words. I'm not homophobic, really. I just use the words. Manly men call each other names, and you know, it's just what we do. It's, the slice of lime is to keep. What happened there? It's to stop the woodworm falling out of the bottle. Whatever that worm or maggot or whatever it is. Tequila, is that the one with the flower that only flowers once every 20 years or something? See, there's another factoid I've just dragged up out of fucking nowhere. Hold on. It is. I'm fucking sure of it. It's not the smelly flower that people go and see. But it is. There's something about the flower that only. Hold on. Tequila. Flower or tree? Flower. 20 years. Let's. The tequila flower refers to the dramatic flowering of the agave plant, specifically Agave tequilana or Agave americana, which is frequently called the century plant, due to the misconception that it blooms once every 100 years. In reality, these plants bloom after 10 to 30 years. So 20 is the... Okay, 20 is a good average. There you go. The plant is monocarpic. That's a nice word. Mono singular. What does carpic mean? Carpuscle, carp, joint? No? Blooms once in its lifetime, then dies. Monocarpic. While the parent plant dies, it usually leaves behind pups, offsets at its base. Produces seeds or bulbils. What? Let's just say bulbs to continue its life cycle. For tequila production, agave plants are harvested before the blooming process, as the flowering process consumes the sugars required for alcohol production. So yeah, anywhere between 10 and 30 years, but with 20 as a good average. So that wasn't a factoid that was wrong. I got that one right-ish. Keeping flies out of my beer is a good use for the slice of citrus. Okay, yeah, I could see that. Also covers the taste of bad beer. All right. All right, folks, we did make it to the 2.5 hour mark. I think I'm done. Thank you to UK Richie for the donation. Much appreciated. Funds were low after purchasing the panels earlier this week. So I've got 2 solar panels arriving. Well, they have arrived with Karen, and she will get them to me in due course. And we'll see where we go from there, folks. I've got no idea what I'm going to do with all the power that I'm going to have rushing my way. 200 watts at any moment to 2 eco flows. I'll be able to run the fridge almost continuously, and the fan in a month or so when the temperature gets higher. But maybe also I'm thinking the slow cooker, and I'll be able to test the air fryer and see whether I can make that work. Yeah, I think the air fryer is from the bins. Karen brought it. I wasn't paying too much attention. Everything arrived at once. They came and I had to do things to get my hair cut and everything. So I think it's a bin fight. So we don't even know if it works at all, and I'm not sure if it will work on the lower power. These things generally need 1500 watts. I can give it 600, but we shall test and see whether you can make an air fryer work on 600 watts. My expectation is that it won't work. It sounds too low. It sounds too low. I've got biddies crawling around here. But we'll see. We'll see. If I can't make it work, I'm going to give it back. They've got someone else they can give it to if it doesn't work for me. See, if I had an EcoFlow Delta, there would be no problem. But because I've just got two rivers, a River 2 and a River 3, I'm on a lower output, lower capacity. These things output 300 watts maximum ordinarily, and then they have the X Boost feature that will take them up to 600 with certain types of electronics, but not sensitive stuff. Don't go putting it on X Boost and then attaching a computer or anything like that. But resistive heating and maybe fans and things you might be able to get to work. Air fryer lol, yeah. I hope they work as well as the old panel did before it was damaged. Yeah, I'm hoping so too. Obviously, we got to wait and see. It's these flexible ones, they appear really lightweight, so I'm going to have to weigh them down with something. Stop them blowing away in the wind. But if they do provide anywhere near anything above 80 watts in a good sun is fine by me. If I get 80 watts input into the devices and then run the fridge, the fan will be the big one in summer, but I'll have cold drinks as well, so it's going to be different, isn't it? Cold drinks. I've got water. I've got bottles of pop and things in the fridge. It's not all beer, you know. I do take the piss and joke about beer, but there is at the minute there is beer in there and there's sangria, but there's also meat and vegetables and cheeses and butters and margarines and things. Aioli. If I can make space, I'll put some fucking cauliflower and broccoli in there so that that's less likely to go off this time. It's not all beer. Some sangria. Okay, folks. I think I'm done. I think we've done 2.5 hours. That's as good as we're gonna get this time. I will try. I may do a live during the day one day this weekend, and I will try and see you Sunday night. Like I said, I've got to move things around here. If I can get this mattress 18 inches that way, such that I can close the bedroom door and get a bit of darkness in an evening, get a sleep, get a nap before the live stream, then I'll be able to resume normal service. We'll be able to do 4, 5, 6 hours again, as long as I've got things to talk about. I haven't got too much at the minute. I haven't seen much in the way of science news. You've got the moon thing, but I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not too impressed by that. 57 years to repeat what was already done before, and they're not even landing. Unimpressive. We'll see. Okay, folks, I'm going to see whether... No, she's asleep and she's under the covers. I will leave her undisturbed. I shall wish you all a fond farewell, and I'm just scrolling, make sure I haven't missed anything. There's UK Richie. Happy Easter to those that like chocolate. I just ate I had a bar of chocolate from a couple of weeks ago. Karen and family brought me. I've just eaten it. I just finished it last night. So I don't have any chocolate at the minute, unfortunately. But I shall wish you all a fond farewell. I will say from Tina, although she's not here for you to see, but from Tina and from me, Delta Mike, out. Catch you later, folks, and happy Easter to those of you that are of a religiosity persuasion. Bye for now.